Listen, life has a way of beating you into submission. And when this happens, your wires get all twisted up and you become all confused. And when I tell you the exhaustion is felt to the millionth degree, okay? Let's go ahead, let's put it out there, let's put it on the table. Let's stop trying to pretend like it's not happening. But that exhaustion that you may be feeling, yeah, that's because life is beating you into submission. And so I hear you asking, girl, like, how you know? I'm gonna tell you, child, I know because I was recently there, okay? So yeah, I know a little something, okay? I thought I was not on the right path, and I thought that the passion that I once had for things that I absolutely love to do was completely gone. Done, I tell you. Like, I just felt like what am I supposed to be doing? Like, my purpose, I felt like my purpose was misaligned. Like, I once thought I knew what my purpose was. Then I started feeling like, maybe that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe that's not my purpose. I had zero motivation to do anything that I set out in my mind to do and on paper to do. And one thing about me is I thrive in productivity. So yeah, I feel and I know that this particular season in my life was taking a complete mental toll on me. I thought, well, damn, when did this lazy spirit get here? What? Hey, lazy, when did you get here? Where did you come from? Baby, when I tell you, when you're mentally exhausted, the things that you once prayed for becomes heavy. The business you love feels stressful. The gym, baby, that's a chore. And creating content, honey, that right there, that's gonna have to take a back burner because you just don't even have the energy for that. And answering messages feels like an unpaid labor, okay? So I remember when I just started feeling like this, right? I started asking myself, like, who are you? Because I didn't even recognize the person that was staring back at me in the mirror. I just didn't, because it was just so out of character for me. So there are things that I had to realize. Number one, I had to realize, what does mental exhaustion feel like? Because I know that I'm not a lazy person. So I knew, like, at some level within me that I was exhausted. I just didn't know how exhausted I was. But mental exhaustion feels like brain fog. It feels like you don't want to be bothered. It feels like procrastination. It feels, how can I put it? It feels like even when you're sleeping, you still feel tired. And one of the biggest things that you feel most of all is that you feel guilty for resting. Honey, I'm gonna tell you, like, mental exhaustion is real. Mental exhaustion will have you sitting in your car for 20 minutes debating whether or not you should walk in the grocery store when you know before you left home you ain't have nothing in that refrigerator. Like, you had nothing but an expired carton of milk and some water. Okay, so you know you need to walk into this grocery store. But that's what mental exhaustion do. It's a vampire. It just drains you of all of your energy. What I had to realize is that I didn't need to become a new person. I just simply needed recovery. That's it. I needed time to recollect myself and to recover from all of the elements in my day-to-day life that had been draining me. So here are a few of my personal tips that I use to bring myself to recovery and through recovery to just come back to myself again. So the first thing I want to say, and the first tip that I have for you, is to stop calling yourself lazy. How can I say this? Some of you have been bullying yourself for weeks and for months on end just because you simply needed rest. And every time you decided to rest, internally, without moving your lips, you were calling yourself lazy, right? I'm gonna need you to stop that today. You're not lazy. You need rest. You've been carrying all type of things mentally because you've just been trying to survive. You've been in survival mode. So it's not that you're lazy, it's that you need rest. So no, stop it today. I want you to stop calling yourself lazy, okay? And that's the first thing. That is the first thing that I had to stop doing, is giving myself permission to rest and stop thinking that I'm being left behind, or I'm leaving something on the table, or I need to be doing something. No, girl, you need to sit down and rest, okay? That's what you need to do. The second thing I had to do is stop trying to restart at 100. Ma'am, I don't know why you think that yesterday you were barely getting yourself out of bed, but today, because now you're making a conscious effort to pull yourself back up, that you think you're going to be operating at 100 when you was just at 0 or 1% yesterday. Baby, small steps builds confidence. So maybe it looks like something like this. Maybe it looks like you taking that walk for today. Maybe it looks like you sitting out on your patio having you a glass and a cup of tea. Maybe it's you shooting that one video if you're a content creator. Maybe it's one workout for you. I just want you to know that you don't have to overexert yourself, because when you're coming from 1% back into the game, if you tell yourself that you're going to be already at 100, you're already setting yourself up to fail. And what we're trying to do right now is we're trying to bring you out of that mental exhaustion and bring you back to yourself. And 3, look around you. Maybe it's your environment that's overstimulating you. That pulls from your energy. That gives you mental exhaustion as well. So declutter your external. Also, when I say your environment, I'm talking about your internal environment. I'm talking about your external environment. So also look at the friends that you have, that you talk to on a consistent basis. Maybe they're overstimulating you. Maybe that's not the friend group that you need right now in this season. And maybe it's a situation where you've been trying to make it still work with this friend group, but you feel yourself growing and expanding and moving on, and that's okay. Let go and let God. Sometimes for me, I even thought about the noise, the noise around me, the audio around me. I found what brought me out of and brought me back to myself was sometimes just sitting in silence. Sometimes getting up, working on my things, not putting on, because normally I would have on like the YouTube lo-fi channel or some type of music channel playing in the background. I found myself just wanting just silence. That helped my nervous system calm down, because that's what it's all about. It's all about you finding ways to calm your nervous system down, because you're overly stimulated. Maybe it's, again, cleaning your home. If your home is cluttered, so will your mind be. That's going to pull your mental energy. So you want to declutter your home. Sometimes it's not that you're broken, it's just that your environment is just loud as hell. Number 4, reconnect with what made you feel alive before you entered exhaustion or pressure entered the room. Like, I had to stop asking myself, how do I become productive again? And I had to start asking myself, when's the last time that you felt alive? For me, it was when I was listening to my Spotify channel. Primarily, like I started listening to like Brandy before like I felt like really exhausted and I went into the season. So I put on my Spotify, I put my Brandy playlist back on, I, had Monica also on my playlist. I had my Chris Brown going. I had things that was gradually making me feel alive again. I started putting on clothes again. I started doing my makeup again. I started making sure I went on my daily walks. I started just being creative, because the thing is, that's how you're going to get motivated again. You're just going to start taking small action, and then it's going to trigger something else, then that's going to trigger this, and that's going to trigger that. So it's just think about, when's the last time that you felt alive, and what did that look like? What did that feel like? What were you listening to? What were you watching? So I would say do those things again. And number 5, I think number 5 is more of a reminder, and that's, you cannot heal while consuming everybody else's life. Some of us are not uninspired. We're just on overload. We're spending part of our days listening to 500 opinions from everybody in our lives. Or we're going on social media looking for opinions. Or we're on ChatGPT, or we're on Gemini. We're asking all of these different people opinions. So we are just overly wired and up to our capacity in our brain to process and take internally what's going on inside of us. So for some of us, is that we don't even have boundaries enough to say, okay, no, I don't need to pick up this phone right now. I do not need to answer this text right now. Some of this stuff can go to voicemail. Some of them texts can be left unread for right now. This is a reminder to stop and care about you. Even down to social media. Stop comparing yourself to all of these people you see on social media. These are highlights, okay? I want people to understand that life is what you make it. It's what you're living. And so I think number 5 is just more so a reminder to stop, pause, and just reconnect with yourself, and just block out anything else that's going on with anybody else, because what matters right now is you. And lastly, rest without guilt. You are not a machine, honey. You do not need permission to rest. You do not need to meet a quota in order to gain a rest token. If your body tells you that, hey, I'm tired, girl, go sit down and rest, okay? I want y'all to understand something. Sometimes life doesn't break you because you're weak. It's just the fact that you've carried so much for so long, and now it's time for you to care about yourself. And so sometimes this is God's way, if that's who you believe in. Sometimes this is God's way of making you pause and forcing you to care about yourself, and forcing you to recharge by shutting you down and making you exhausted, to sit your butt down and to recollect and reconnect with who you are and the things that you love and the things that make you feel alive. So if your passion has been feeling a bit distant lately, this is your sign that it's time for you to care about you more. And it's time for you to block out anything and everything that's going on with any and everybody, and sit down and care about you. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if your friend needs to talk to you right now because she got this, that, and the third going on. Right now, you need to care about you. What about you? But yeah, child, that's all I wanted to come on here and give you, is just a little bit of encouragement and give you these tips that I use to bring myself out of mental exhaustion, and to remind you that you're not lazy, baby. You're just mentally exhausted. So if this video resonated with you in any type of way, please give it a like, leave a positive comment in the comment area, and please hit that bell to notify you of any other videos that I release here in the near future. And baby, do not forget to subscribe to the Confidence on Stilettos channel with Laketta. And until next time, y'all have a beautiful one, okay? All right now, bye.